painter in Hamilton in 1977. However, there have been multiple additions since then.
The building is located in Lincoln on the university campus off Calder Drive. It is one of the few buildings on campus to have its own specific car parking and has pivotal location right next to the rugby fields, tennis courts, and a short walk to the cricket oval.
The building's principal use is for health and fitness purposes. The building is used by students at Lincoln University and members from the Lincoln community. However, the sports hall has had a change of use and is currently being used as a dining hall for the halls of residence on campus.
As well as members of the Recreation Centre, recreation staff have offices in the building and contribute to the running of the centre. And as stated before, halls of residence also occupy the building, using the sports hall as a dining hall.
The construction of the Recreation Centre uses a variety of different materials. The front half of the building is mostly brick, concrete block, and the rear of the building being a painted stucco with a plaster finish. The roof is wide-ribbed corrugated iron, and the lower half of the sports hall brick in between large reinforced concrete columns, while the upper half is a narrow ribbed corrugated iron. Structurally, I believe the reinforced concrete blocks throughout the interior and exterior of the building provide a structural element. There is clearly visible large reinforced concrete columns spaced out around the outside of the building. These can be seen inside the building, as well as large steel beams in the sports hall and smaller steel beams elsewhere throughout the building across the ceilings.
The Recreation Centre has a low degree of obsolescence. The building itself is still relatively new, and with good maintenance plans, it should be able to continue with its intended use well into the future. However, certain parts of the building are becoming old and will need upgrading, such as the toilets and shower facilities.
Maintenance plan. Given the overall condition and working order of the building, it was clear that there was some form of maintenance plan in place. However, there was no obvious recent work to prove this. A maintenance plan is a good way of prolonging a building's life and preventing major issues from occurring.
The condition of most of the interior walls, ceilings, and floors was good, with no major visible issues. The carpet throughout the hallways and toilets is starting to show some wear and tear and will need to be in a few years. The polished wood floors in the group exercise studio would need to be repolished in a few years, and the rubber spring floor in the fitness studio will also need to be replaced down the track. However, for the moment, everything is fine.
The building has a large variety of crucial services that make the building healthy and safe. There is a great fire safety system in place throughout the building. There are many smoke alarms throughout the building to detect fire and fire exits in every room. There are manual fire alarm triggers that set off alarm bells throughout the building. In cases of small fires, there is a fire extinguisher and fire hose reels spread out around the building. Smoke and fire doors separate key areas of the building into fire cells as well. Regular practice of fire alarms will ensure the system is operating as it should be. There is a large heating, ventilation and air conditioning system that runs throughout the entire building. This system stops interior problems such as condensation, pattern staining on walls and obvious mildew. This system in parts of the building does appear to be getting very old, therefore regular maintenance would be essential and even need to be looked at getting replaced. The plumbing in the building is in good working order, however the toilet and shower facilities are very dated and are going to need to be renovated and replaced in the near future. Having a plumber and electrician that can be contacted in emergency situations is a good idea to ensure the building remains safe and major damage doesn't occur.
The roof cladding is a wide-ribbed corrugated iron. It is in good condition, but as can be seen in the photo, water runoff from downpipes on the higher terraces of the roof has caused streaks of rust. The building has a commercial box gutter with PVC and aluminium downpipes. These gutters and pipes are in good condition and appear to be free from any blockages. Some of the fixtures attaching the downpipes to the walls and gutters to the roof appear to be broken and need replacing. The streaks of rust on the roof could be avoided by a downpipe all the way from the top of the terrace of the roof to the bottom gutter.
The condition of external wall cladding. The sports hall in front of the building has various types of external cladding. It consists of brick, corrugated iron and concrete. The cladding for the rugby changing rooms is a painted concrete blocks, and the rear of the building is a combination of brick and stucco plaster finish. This difference in cladding is due to the extensions made to the building. The condition of cladding on the whole facility is generally up to a reasonable standard. However, there is some obvious small cracks and gaps in the brick cladding. They need to be maintained and filled to avoid water entering the building and producing a bigger problem. Also, the mortar in the building's brick at the moment is running and could become a problem if it is not dealt with soon.
The foundation for this building appears to be a reinforced concrete floor slab. It appears to be in good condition, and we could not find any evidence of cracking, spalling, or crumbling edges. There appeared to be no evidence of subsidence with the slab.
There is great disabled access to the recreation centre. There is one disabled parking space that has direct access to the recreation centre from the front car park. Building requirements state this must be one disabled car park for every 20 parking spaces. Based on this, the front car park meets these building code standards in relation to disabled access. The rear car park consists of 2 disabled parking spaces. This meets building standard requirements in terms of its ratio of total parking spaces to disabled parking spaces. There is a reasonable amount of access routes for someone in a wheelchair. There are ramps on most adjoining pathways to roads, car parks, and leading to the facility. These are needed for someone in a wheelchair when using these routes. The men and women's toilets and showers also cater for disabled patrons and have suitable access and facilities that are clearly labelled with great signage.